consistency. I don't like clickbait, and I know I will have titled this video how to use copy to make your brand recognisable, or maybe something like that. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what the title's going to be, but the answer is consistency. If you want to get recognised for something, if you want to be known for something, you have to just say it over and over and over again. How do you create that consistency and make it as easy as possible for you to be consistent? That's a slightly different question, and one I'm going to talk about today in this video. I'm going to cover why... No, I'm not going to cover that. That's boring. Forget that. How to make it as easy as possible to be consistent in your messaging and your brand tone of voice and your copy. We're going to look at messaging specifically for this video. I think the fun element, it's threaded throughout your messaging, but I want to talk about that in a different video. Today's all about messaging. So we're going to look at 3 different things. First of all, why your messaging needs to focus on more than just nice to haves. Like, what is it about what you do and the long-term benefits that you create for your clients, and how is that coming through in your messaging? Number 2 is the so what test. We're going to talk about that. I get lots of questions about that, and I talk about that quite a lot, so we'll talk about it now. And then number 3 is not just having like 3 words on a page and being detailed in your messaging and making it, as easy as possible, and giving yourself the resources that you can actually use when it comes to things like creating copy or writing your website copy or whatever it is, and going, I know exactly what I need to say. It's not just 3 words on a page. But we'll get to that. Let's start off with looking beyond the nice to haves. I see this a lot with particularly beginner business owners, or people who just started. They talk about what they do in terms of like the very surface level benefits that they bring. So the reason why I know this is because I was that business owner. When I first started, my business is called Gina Wrote It. I have a lot of affection for Gina Wrote It because it's my baby. But my main message was, I will take copy off your plate. Which is not wrong, she wasn't incorrect, but just like, and what? Take copy off your plate to do what with it? What is it about the way I'm talking about that makes me stand out above other copywriters as the person you want to come to get your copywriting done? Like, I'll take it off your plate, but will I do it to any standard? Will the results of what I do bring anything to your business? Like, you can't just stick with what you actually do. Like, it's got to go beyond that, and it's got to go to what benefit does that bring to your client and their business and their life, or whatever it might be. So nowadays, I still take copywriting off people's plates. That hasn't changed. I take it off their to-do lists. I get it done for them. But I now talk about it in a way that's like, I'll make you a dream client magnet. Like, I'll create copy and create the resources that make it as easy as possible for you to be consistent and make your clients, your dream clients, want to hang out with you, want to find out more about you. Which sounds so much better than just, I'll do it, I'll do this. Like, I've worked with clients in the past who, their outcomes and their messaging is focused on, I give them clarity. Like, that is really important, and lots of business owners do really value that, but what does that actually give people? Like, what long-term difference is that making to their life and their business? And that's what you need to be reflecting in your messaging. So I think that's number 1, sort of covered. Number 2, which is what I want to talk about today, is the so what test. It's very, very simple. Anytime you write something, whether that is copy that's going to go live, whether that is messaging that you're writing for yourself and for your team to look at when you're creating copy or content in the future, it needs to answer the question, so what? Like, what difference does that actually make to your audience? I think I kind of piss off my clients sometimes, especially when we do brand deep dives and I'm trying to get to the heart of like the real value of what it is that they do. Like, what transformation do you make to people's lives? Like, what is the outcome of what you do? Because when we're on these calls, I basically ask the same 3 or 4 questions over and over again, and one of them is, so what? So quite a lot of the time people will say, with my services, I give my clients back their time, and I say, great, so what? What are they doing with that time? What difference does that make to them? What does that free up them to do? What are they doing instead? And then even then, when they say, okay, they go and do this thing, they spend time with their family. Okay, so what? What does that mean? Does that mean they enjoy life a bit more? Does that mean that they are more refreshed when they come back to, like, what difference does that make to your customer? And I think the further and further you can take that, the further you are able to demonstrate how well you understand your audience, because everybody wants time, everybody wants more time, everybody wants more money. But if you can talk, that sounded so like, everybody wants more money, but it's true. If you can talk really, really specifically to what your customers are going to do with that money, that time, like whether it's money saved or money that they've earned, that's just going to separate you from everyone else. Because let's be honest, every single business, whether that's a service provider or product, most product businesses as well, the benefits are save time, save money, make money. So the more you can push yourself to think, okay, so what? So what? Like, again, so what? It's just going to separate you even further from your competitors. And the clearer of understanding you have in that, the easier it's going to be to talk about it in your messaging. So you can speak to the lifestyle that you know your customer wants. When you're creating your content, when you are making sure that the language is consistent, you are making it as easy as possible for you to reflect that language back to them, to reflect that transformation back to them, all because you asked yourself the question, so what? So anytime, this is the best piece of advice I could ever give any writer, copywriter, whether you're a professional, you're just dabbling in, or you're doing it for your own business, whenever you have written anything, ask yourself, so what? Asking yourself the so what question also stops you from doing too much like me focused content. Yes, people need to understand about you and your background and who you are and why you are so good at what you do, but it needs to be framed like that. It needs to be framed like, okay, so what difference does this make to me and the service you're going to provide to me? Because people are inherently selfish. We don't like to admit it, but people want to know what difference does this make to me. So anytime you're writing something, ask yourself, so what? And then if it doesn't pass the test, if it doesn't answer that question, you need to do some editing. You need to keep working on it. So I think that's the so what test covered. If you have any other questions on that, comment below, find me, shoot me an email, DM me on Instagram, whatever it is. And then the third thing I wanted to talk about was, not just 3 words on a page. I see this with messaging a lot. I've been a copywriter for 3 years, over 3 years now. And in that time, I've worked with lots and lots of clients. And whenever I work with a client, one of the things I will ask them for is tone of voice guidelines. If they have them already, that's fantastic. It's supposed to make my life a lot easier. And some of them go, yeah, we've got tone of voice guidelines. And they're lying to me. They don't have tone of voice guidelines. They have a PDF with 3 words on it and maybe 3 sentences under each of those 3 words if I'm lucky. And those 3 words are invariably like honest, human, community. Or maybe if they are a bit more of a fun brand, they'll say something like sassy, confident. What does that mean? Like, I am a firm believer that even if you are writing, even if you're the only one who's ever going to look at your messaging or your tone of voice, whatever kind of like codification you have of what your brand is, if you are the only person that's ever going to look at it, you still need to make it clear. So get specific. What on earth do you mean by human? There are 7 billion, maybe 8 billion, I don't know, I can't count, like humans on the planet. You've got to get more specific than human. You've got to get more specific than 3 generic words that are on a page, on a PDF somewhere that you're never going to look at. Because again, the more specific you can get with this, the easier it's going to be for yourself and your content creation processes to bring that to life and go, okay, I know that that's on message because I've spelled out what this means and I'm looking at my copy now and they are matching up. And then once you do that, it also makes it easier for your dream clients to go, oh my God, they're talking about me. That's me. That's referring to me. That's what I want to see. They know that that is important to me. I'm going to go check them out more. So it's gotta be more than just like positive or accountable or honest, whatever it is. You've got to like really, you don't want it to be too detailed if it's just you that's using it. And even if you are going to use it to outsource, even if you are going to use things like messaging and tone of voice guidelines and brand personality to outsource things like content creation or copywriting to someone else, you don't want it to be super, super detailed. but you do need a level of actual guidance. Kind of, you know, a bit of a giveaway from the word guideline there. But you'd be surprised how many people overlook that bit. But it needs to break down what actually needs to happen in that copy, what it needs to feel like, what it needs to sound like, what linguistic structures you can use, what kind of language you can use, like, and also what not to do as well. You need to clarify what the no-goes are, like what kind of vibe you're trying to avoid as well. Because it's all willing, like, for example, I worked on a client's messaging and brand personality earlier this week. And we decided that her whole personality is that she's a wing woman, right? In helping her customers, she's like alongside them when she does it, when she works with them. It's not preachy, it's not from on high. So we defined that as a no-go for her. It's not her getting up on her soapbox telling people this is what you have to do or this is how it should be done. She's got to be right there alongside them in the community. So that's an example of a no-go. It's basically, you've got to also get clear on the opposite of what you are. And I think that helps to narrow it down even further, to get even more clear on, what it means to sound like you and to connect with your dream clients, because that's what messaging should do. Messaging shouldn't be something that sits in a PDF or an Excel spreadsheet that you look at like maybe once every 6 months for the sole purpose of updating it. It should be something that you look at every time you go to create content, every time you go to write LinkedIn posts, a Instagram story, a newsletter, making sure that what you're saying is on message and consistent. Because again, like I said right at the top of this video, if you say the same things over and over again, if you say it in the same way over and over again, people will be able to build trust with you. And not just people, the right people, the dream clients that you want to be working with, the ones who understand your value, the ones who are happy to pay the prices that you set and just are so excited about working with you. But again, I'll say it again, I'll say the word again, you can only do that if you're consistent. And you can only be consistent if you spell out exactly what needs to happen in every piece of copy that you put out. So you've got to have clear messaging, a clear brand personality, and just spell out exactly what that needs to look like in the copy that you're writing. This has been a brain dump. I'm trying to do all these videos in one take because it makes my life easier and makes your life easier as well, I think. Just a quick hit of garbage. While we're talking about messaging and brand personality and bringing copy to life, I should probably mention a new service that I've launched. It's called Nailed in a Day. And as you might have guessed from the name, in one day, I will nail your messaging, your brand personality, and then I will use that messaging and that personality to upgrade your web copy as well. So it doesn't matter if you have messaging already or you don't. I'll basically help you kick things up a notch. Do all the things I've talked about in this video and taking things from, okay, yeah, those sound like nice to have benefits of what I do and the things I can bring to my customers' lives. Yeah, no, we're taking it up to the next level. And that's what I'm starting to do already with some of the clients that have been nailing things in a day. What else do I do? We just talked about messaging. Oh yeah, your brand personality, getting really clear on exactly like what fun and personality and humour means for you and spelling that out with examples, different like personas in real life and like celebrities that I feel you have the same vibe with, and clarifying those no-goes as well. And then once you've got those two clear, I'll use those to update your web copy. So up to 6 pages of web copy I will update in one day. Yes, one day. Oh, and forgot about this. There's so much involved in the service. I also give you 2 weeks of copywriting support, because as much as I can understand what your messaging and what your brand personality is, and when I put it back to you, you'll go, oh yeah, no, that's so me. I still want to make sure you feel as clear as possible on how to actually bring that to life in your copy. So the whole point of this 2 weeks of support is you will send me up to 1,000 words of copy that you've already drafted based on the messaging and the brand personality I've already sent you. And then I will edit things and kick things up a notch again, spice things up. But this time, unlike when I was editing your web copy, this time I will like show you how I'm editing it. So I will write really descriptive comments and leave really clear like track changes of what I'm doing. And I'll record Loom videos and I'll write personalized copy top tip guides to show you exactly how I have taken what you've already written to the copy that I think is more in line with your messaging and your personality and your new tone of voice. And again, those are all resources that you can use whenever you come to write your own copy in the future. So by the end of those 2 weeks and the Nailed in a Day, you'll have clarity on what you're saying, how you're saying it, and then how to kick it up a notch and like elevate it. I hate the word elevate, but it is the right word to use in this context. It's £860 for all of those things, which is good. I think that's a steal actually, and that is at launch pricing. I only offer one of these slots a week because it's a very intense process and I would explode otherwise. So if you are interested in nailing your messaging, your web copy, your brand personality, and getting clearer on what you can do to elevate your own copy again and again in the future, I will put the link below to the service page. And yeah, let's get it nailed. Thank you so much for watching this video, this mess, this pile of hot garbage. I hope it gives you a bit more clarity on what it takes to be consistent, and how you can use copy and personality and tone of voice to really become recognisable to your dream clients again and again. I don't know how to sign these off. I feel like doing this. There's something in me that wants to do that. I've done it now. I'm going to go. Bye-bye. Love you very much.